Alright, in this video we're going to use these two problems to review special triangles. So real quick, let's jump over and remember the patterns. So you should go ahead and memorize these patterns if you have not done so years ago. If you have a 45, 45, 90 triangle, it goes leg, leg, and then leg radical 2. Alright, memorize that pattern. If you have a 30, 60, 90 triangle, it's really all about the short leg. Just really focus on that. That's why I call that X, because then the hypotenuse should be double the short leg. And if you want to get the long leg over here, just take the short leg and multiply it by radical 3. So we will use these patterns to solve the questions. Okay, so for the first set of problems, well, for problem number 9, we're dealing with a 45, 45, 90 triangle. So just draw yourself a little picture to help focus your brain. And so in this first problem, we're given one of the two legs, and we're supposed to find the other leg and the hypotenuse. So just using the pattern, which again goes leg, leg, leg radical 2 for the hypotenuse, we see that the two legs should be the same. So if this is 8, then this should be 8, and then the hypotenuse should be 8 radical 2. Leg, leg, leg radical 2. So that's why the other leg was 8, and the hypotenuse was 8 radical 2. Okay, now for problem number 10, things change up a bit. Alright, this time they gave us radical 5 for one of the legs. So still, we know that these two legs should be the same. So it goes leg, leg, leg radical 2, right? So this is leg. So this leg should be the same. Now, the hypotenuse is a little bit more interesting, because it should go leg radical 2, right? Leg, leg, leg radical 2. But the way this is written, since these are both radical 2, we need to go ahead and multiply these together and call it radical 10. Okay, so the other leg was radical 5 as well, but the hypotenuse is radical 10. Alright, so that's it for the 45, 45, 90 triangle. So now let's draw a sketch of a 30, 60, 90 triangle. Okay, so I will call this my 30 and I will call this my 60. So that means this down here is my short leg. So for problem number 11, we are told that the short leg is 9. Okay, and one more time, the pattern goes focusing on the short leg, double it, you get the hypotenuse. Take the short leg, multiply it by radical 3, and then that will give you the longer leg. Okay, so if I take that short leg, if I take the short leg and double it, that should give me the hypotenuse. If I take the short leg and I multiply it by radical 3, then that should give me the longer leg. Alright, so the hypotenuse is 18, and the longer leg is 9 radical 3. Okay, how about for problem number 12? Let's look at what we have. Slightly trickier. So they gave us the longer leg to be 18. Alright, so everything is always easy when they give us the short leg, but they gave us the longer leg, so that's a little bit trickier. And also, looking at the pattern, the longer leg is supposed to have a radical 3 in it. So it really is messing me up that I don't see a radical 3, I just see 18. So here's how I would handle that if I were you. I am going to take this pattern and I'm going to put all of these expressions on this triangle. I'm not going to use, yes I am, alright, yeah, I'm just going to put those expressions. So this is x, which we don't know, and this would be 2x, and this is supposed to be x radical 3. Okay, the fact that there's an 18 here means that x radical 3 must equal 18. So focus on that. This is an equation that we can solve. So to solve for x, we would divide by radical 3 on both sides of this equation. Alright, so that's going to give me, I'm going to put this over here, that's going to give me x equals 18 over radical 3. Now let's rationalize this denominator. You want to multiply the numerator and denominator by radical 3 to really see what we have here. So that's going to give us 18 radical 3 over 3. Alright, radical 3 times radical 3 is just 3. Yeah, I mean technically radical 3 times radical 3 is radical 9, but what is the square root of 9? 3. So just get used to that and take the shortcut. Radical 3 times radical 3 is 3. Here, pop quiz. What's radical 17 times radical 17? 17. See how that works? Okay, anyway, back to the problem. 18 is divisible by 3. You get 6. So this makes 6 radical 3. So we just found out that x is 6 radical 3. But let's remember what x is. Alright, this is x right here. Okay, so this is 6 radical 3. That's my short leg. So I know the short leg now is 6 radical 3, so I can go ahead and write that down. Now the hypotenuse should be 2 times the short leg. So the hypotenuse should be 2 times 6 radical 3. So that's going to be 12 radical 3. And that's just a quick review of special right triangles. I hope it was helpful, and I will see you on the next video.